Hello, my dear friends. Here we are for another Bible study. How good it is to spend this time in God's presence. In today's Bible study, we move into the very heart of Psalm 91, exploring from verse 5 to 13. We will dive into the absolute sovereignty of God, who reigns over every evil and shields us from every fear. It is a promise of authority and boundless heavenly protection for your life. Before we begin, please subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell, and leave a like, as it helps us a lot. Now, open your heart to the Father's sovereignty, and let's begin the study. Psalm 91, verses 5 through 13. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet. The ancient lands of the Middle East were marked by a violent contrast between light and darkness, where danger was not just a possibility, but a constant presence on the horizon of every traveler. The terror of the night, mentioned in these verses, did not refer only to a psychological fear, but to the reality of a desert where wild beasts and raiders moved under the cloak of silence, while the arrow that flew by day was the scorching heat of the sun or the sudden attack of an unexpected illness. In those days, divine sovereignty was the only explanation and the only help for those surrounded by threats that could not be controlled by human hands. It was a faith that recognized that even in the midst of great vulnerability, there was a higher government that decided the fate of both the small and the great. The image of thousands falling all around while a single individual remains standing takes us back to the ancient battlefields, where life and death were separated by an invisible thread. In biblical thought, this survival was not attributed to luck or martial skill, but to the faithfulness of a commitment established with the Creator. Seeing the reward of those who turn away from the light was a way of understanding that divine justice has its own time to manifest, and that protection is not an empty privilege, but a consequence of choosing the Most High as one's dwelling place. This concept of dwelling suggests that security is not an isolated event, but a continuous state of being for those who decide to walk under the watchful eye of the one who governs everything with majesty. The mention of plagues and pestilences that walk in darkness reflects the historical dread of epidemics that decimated entire cities without warning. In a world without modern medicine, disease was seen as a mysterious force, and the psalm teaches us that nothing, absolutely nothing, is beyond the reach of the Lord's authority. The promise that no evil shall befall the tent of those who trust is an affirmation that our home, our most intimate space, is surrounded by a barrier that natural eyes cannot perceive. This sovereignty extends over the invisible and the unknown, bringing immense comfort to those who today face their own deserts and uncertainties about what tomorrow may bring. Angelic care is one of the most consoling themes of this passage, evoking the idea of a heavenly guard that acts in all our ways. In the rocky and rugged terrain of Judea, tripping over a stone was not just a minor accident, but something that could incapacitate a man for weeks or attract predators in the middle of nowhere. The promise of being sustained by the hands of divine messengers shows that God's sovereignty manifests in the smallest details of our existence. He does not only worry about the great battles, but also about the balance of our steps on difficult ground, ensuring that our journey is not interrupted by obstacles that seem insurmountable to our tired eyes. Facing the lion and the serpent was the ultimate test of courage and dominion over wild nature. Historically, these beasts represented the most lethal threats of Palestinian fauna, animals that attacked with brute force or silent venom. Stepping on the young lion and the asp symbolizes victory over enemies who use both open violence and hidden cunning. It is the recognition that, under the Lord's guard, the faithful receive an authority that transcends physical strength, allowing them to walk with dignity and security even in territories infested by deadly dangers. This sovereignty gives us the calm needed to move forward without panic, taking the place of our constant hope. As we reflect on these promises, we realize that biblical security is active and dynamic, requiring a total surrender to God's government. It is not a promise that problems will cease to exist, but that our spiritual integrity and our purpose will be preserved in the midst of them. History shows us that men and women who clung to these words found strength to cross dark valleys and times of scarcity with a confidence that the world cannot explain. This connection with the eternal transforms our view of reality, making us look at challenges not as sentences of defeat, but as stages where the Father's glory will be manifested through our lives. Everything written in these ancient parchments continues to echo in our day as an invitation to abandon self-sufficiency and recognize our absolute dependence. The Lord who guarded the ancient travelers under the desert sun is the same who today desires to cover your life with the same steadfast faithfulness. Every promise of deliverance is a reminder that you are loved with a love that provides guardians and safe paths, even when the circumstances around you seem to point to chaos. It is in this environment of majestic security that we are invited to flourish and bear fruit, knowing that our life is hidden in a place where evil is not permitted to prosper or destroy us. I would now like to invite you to a moment of silence and reverence where we will bring all these promises to the altar of prayer. Let us ask that this sovereignty becomes a palpable reality in every area of your existence, bringing healing to the heart and protection to your home. Prepare your spirit, take a deep breath, and feel the peace that passes all understanding beginning to flood your being. It is the moment to speak with the one who gives orders to his angels concerning us and who sustains us with firm and loving hands. Join me now in this sacred dialogue, for the Father is attentive and ready to respond to the cry of those who trust totally in his grand care. Sovereign Lord, before your majesty we bow at this moment, recognizing that nothing escapes your control and that your government extends over every sphere of our existence. Father, in a world where fear often tries to paralyze our steps, we cry out for your authority to manifest clearly and comfortingly in our hearts. You, who are the secure refuge and the eternal dwelling, deliver us from the dread that walks in darkness and from the affliction that arises in the light of day. We declare that under your watch, even if the circumstances around us seem to crumble and thousands fall at our side, our peace remains guarded by your faithful hand, and evil shall not touch us. Thank you, God, for sending your angels to sustain us. We know that on every rugged path and every difficult terrain, we are carried by heavenly messengers who execute your will, preventing our feet from stumbling on the stones of unbelief or anguish. We ask that your sovereignty give us the courage needed to walk with authority over the lions and serpents of daily life, giving us victory over visible threats and the hidden cunning that seeks to bring us down. May our home and our family be sealed by your protection, and may no plague be permitted to touch our dwelling or steal our hope. In this moment, we strengthen our bonds with you, abandoning all self-sufficiency to rest fully in your grand care. May the certainty that you reign over the visible and the invisible bring us the breath needed for today's struggles and clarity for tomorrow's challenges. May your voice be louder than the noise of the storms, and may your light dissipate any and every shadow of doubt in our souls. We commit to you every worry and every dream, knowing that your purpose is perfect and that your faithfulness is the shield that surrounds us and sustains us in all our ways forevermore. Amen. We conclude this Bible study with this message of authority and full security, understanding that divine sovereignty is not just a subject for reflection, but a real shield for your daily routine. As your mentor on this journey, I want you to realize that the promise not to fear the terror of the night or the arrow by day translates into your ability to lay your head on the pillow and sleep in peace, even when bills are overdue or the future seems uncertain. God's sovereignty means that He has the final word over your health, your family, and your projects. In your daily life, when you feel surrounded by problems that seem to affect everyone around you, remember the verse that says, "It shall not come nigh thee." This is not an invitation to passivity, but to active trust. Practically, this means you can make difficult decisions at work or resolve conflicts at home, knowing there is a heavenly guard operating behind the scenes in every single situation. Whenever you feel you're about to stumble over a stone, be it an offense, a mistake made, or a deep disappointment, visualize the heavenly hands upholding you. God uses people, situations, and even inspired thoughts to ensure you do not fall into despair. Stepping on the lion and the serpent is, in reality, overcoming that habit, that old grudge, or that fear that kept you from moving forward. You have been given authority to walk over difficulties with dignity. Do not let the noise of the world turn down the volume of the Most High's voice in your mind. As you leave this video, look at your challenges not as impassable walls, but as opportunities where the Father's sovereignty will be proven and manifested. You are under a watch that does not sleep and has specific orders concerning you. Use this truth to maintain your emotional balance and mental clarity in all circumstances. Your path is being guided by hands that shaped the universe, and every step of yours is guarded with a zeal that exceeds all human understanding. Live with this optimistic expectation, for the one who governs your tomorrow is faithful and sovereign in every detail of your story. Thank you so much for staying until the end. I need your opinion. Do you prefer isolated verse-by-verse videos, or do you prefer it like this, as a sequential mini-series on a larger theme? I feel that breaking a large study into parts is much more educational, and I wanted to know if you agree. I am preparing a deep study on Genesis, and I don't know whether to post it as a single video or as a multi-day sequence. Since we are a family here, help me decide the direction of our channel. Comment Amen if you made it this far, and let me know your preference in the comments. Subscribe, leave a like, and share with someone who needs comfort. And remember, God is always with you.